Patagonia is a wild and beautiful wilderness in both Chile and Argentina. You're maybe more familiar with the famous clothing line featuring the Fitz Massif. It literally means big feet, a name Magellan gave to the native inhabitants who were giants compared to the Europeans. It consists of sweeping plains, magnificent glaciers, towering, jagged mountains, dense forests, unique wildlife, turquoise lakes, undulating foothills, and the world's most southerly golf course in the world's most southerly city. In February 2020, it includes a group of adventurous travelers. How do you get to Patagonia? It's through Argentina's capital city, Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is a sophisticated city of old colonial buildings, parks, and tree-lined streets. The presidential palace, the Pink House. Pink as a compromise between rival political parties whose colors were red and white. Ceremonial changing of the guard at the mausoleum of General Jose de San Martin, liberator of Argentina, Chile, and Peru from Spanish oppression. Mothers and grandmothers wear white scarves and gather every Thursday here at Plaza de Mayo to bring attention to 30,000 disappeared people when the military dictatorship turned against the Argentine people. Tigre is an off-the-grid community and weekend getaway where we cruise around the canals and islands. Recoleta Cemetery, where we walk the maze of alleyways around the mausoleums. They're Art Nouveau tombs above ground, famous people, noble families, and including Eva Perón. Here's the tomb of Rufina Cambaceres, a beautiful young girl buried alive in her coffin. Rufina collapsed and was pronounced dead by 3 doctors. She was entombed wearing a diamond necklace. When it was discovered that the coffin lid had moved and broken in places, the family thought the necklace had been stolen. An investigation found Rufina dead, wearing the necklace, and scratch marks on the coffin lid from her trying to break out. La Boca neighborhood is famous for its dramatic murals and its colorful houses. This is the place to come and tango. And enjoy Argentinian barbecue. Drinking mate is a national obsession. Listen to Grizel.
We fill it up till the middle part. I move the herbs to this side of the receipt, and in the other one I put the water. The secret is that the water has not to be boiled. I put this filter. In this case, I'm going to prepare it with sugar.
That's salt.
No, it's not salt. The one who prepares the mate is the one that drinks the first. We always finish the water that is inside the receipt. When it makes the noise, that means that the water is over. This is the noise. Or do you want to taste it? Hasta que haga ruido, until it makes noise, please. Great.
The Avlier Hotel rooftop bar overlooks the city. The big steel flower, a gift of sculptor Edward Catalano, made from airplane steel from the Malvinas War. It was designed that the petals open and close at dawn and dusk. Now, let's talk about money. Colorful pesos. The Four Seasons Hotel ATM eats and shreds our bank card when Cliff doesn't remove it quickly. Finally, a package of pesos from Western Union amounting to $300. Patagonia, here we come! Landing at El Calafate and busing towards El Chalten along Route 40, Argentina's 5,000-kilometer highway equivalent to the Trans-Canada. We stop at La Leona, a small estancia with an incredible story. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid fled to Argentina where they robbed banks. They stayed here at La Leona for a month before leaving for Chile to continue their life of crime. La Leona means lion, but it really refers to a puma. It's noted for its delicious lemon meringue pie. Meringue piled as high as the Andes snow-capped peaks, and it is delicious. Lemon meringue pie and empanadas, a great combination. Our guide Pepe refreshes his hot water for mate. We share a drink and continue our bus journey.
Hello, I'm Pepe. Welcome to my office. That's my name. Right in the middle, you see what we call it a Cerro Torre. But right on the right, under the cloud, that's the Fitz.
Pepe is almost in tears as we approach El Chalten. Never has he seen the peaks so clearly. How lucky we are to be here now to begin our hiking adventures. First, the warm-up hike from El Chalten to Condor Lookout. In the distance, we see Andean condors, massive birds with a 6-foot wingspan. They need to live in windy areas where they can glide easily on the air currents. These human condors need more wind to take off. Susan celebrates with a headstand. Pepe and Ashley joyously jump. Just as Pepe tells us that we may spot an armadillo at the end of our hike, miraculously, Moira spots one, and it scurries off as we pursue it with our cameras.
And then we start our trek. In total, I think maybe it's going to take us 10 hours or so. So we start here, we walk to the viewpoint, then to the Poinsettia camp, then
We are all set to do one of the most scenic hikes in the world. On this most perfect day, Mount Fitzroy beckons to us. Come, come!
Is it time to take off another layer? Depends on how much you got left.
It's quite flat to start off. Fitzroy peeks out from among the trees. The real climbing begins when we attack this steep, green-forested, rocky ridge. Walk across the bridge, one person at a time. The stream is a good place to refill our water bottles. There's no chance of beaver fever here, and crowded hardly describes how busy this trail is with people going up and down.
Fitzroy!
It's 1 kilometer, steadily up, 40% incline along a narrow, rough, rocky path, dodging climbers coming down and wanting to pass going up, hardly a moment to stop and catch your breath. It's a grueling hike, and we're pretty exhausted. 5 hours of arduous hiking, and we summit.
I'm spent.
And so is Cliff. No better reward than this dazzling view. Miraculously, we meet our Calgary friends Trish and Mike to share the summit together. While eating our lunch, we watch the ice climbers slowly weaving their way up the glacier. Mother and daughter lakes are in the distance as we descend. Legs and knees really feel it coming down.
Nothing to it.
They only fill 3 times. Lovely walk back to El Chalten, where a beer really hits the spot. And what the Perito Moreno Glacier. We are really excited to see the most famous glacier in the world, with floating icebergs. The viewing platforms, a safe distance from the glacier, still allow you to feel the cold air breathing on your face. A feast for the eyes, so impressive. 30 kilometers long, 5 kilometers wide, 250 square kilometers, 60 meters above the level of the lake, with a further 200 meters below lake level. And it's still advancing, not receding. John and Sarah captured this amazing plunge of ice into Lake Argentina. On our 40-minute boat ride, we get closer to the glacier face. We can hear the creaking sounds. They sound like fireworks as the glacier creeps and crawls. How I wish we could have lied about our age and gone glacier trekking like these lucky people, all under 60. A chunk of glacier ice. Look behind Cliff at the aquarium to see that most of the floating ice is beneath the surface. Pepe suggests cocida al disco for dinner, a gaucho stew, and another time provoleta and parrilla, lamb cooked over an open flame. At the Argentina border, our passport is stamped out. Pass through 2K of no man's land to the border with Chile, where the Border Patrol inspects our bus with the dog. Border Patrol stamps us into Chile, and look at the difference. We're on a paved road. Now we expect to see guanacos and the pumas that keep office hours. Keep up our fitness for the hike ahead. Up and up to a cave where we see the petroglyphs. Pepe, king of the mountains. Mundo has joined us as our Chilean guide. Here's Cliff, and Sharon, and Mark, James, Gavin, Susan, Colin, Fiona, and Moira. Now it's Viv, and Rosalie, and Pepe, Jane and James, John, Sarah, and Ashley. Mundo promised we would see guanacos, and here they are. Picture a camel. Take away its hump, shrink it down in size, and you get a guanaco. They're wild animals with a thick neck to protect them from predator pumas. Goodbye, wild animals. Hello, sensational scenery. We overnight at this island hotel, Hosteria Pejoy, with Los Cuernos, the horns, in the background. The horns are a geological and erosion wonder. Black sedimentary rock at the peaks, gray granite below. We leave at sunrise for Torre del Paine. Let's get those stretches in. We have 25 kilometers and 900 meters in 8 to 9 hours ahead of us as we head towards Torre del Paine National Park. A glorious day, and the trail winds its way into the Ascencio River Valley. Cross the bridge and we arrive at the Chileno Refugio. There's lots of action at this camping site. We're only halfway. I'm taking a video to take home. You say hi. Hola. Meet Bruno. He's a Bacadano, a Chilean cowboy. They've been delivering supplies to the refugio. Now the trail winds through the Lenga forest, and if we don't get going, we're not going to be done this hike in 8 hours. We rest because we know that what's ahead is a massive challenge for body and mind. Now it's the uphill battle through the rocks and through the boulders. Given the difficulty of the terrain, it's tempting to think that Torre del Paine means towers of Paine. Actually, it really means the blue towers. Scramble across the moraine section of loose rock, up and up and up. Ashley is not breaking any speed records ascending, but with the end in sight and electricity in the air, she has a burst of energy, and here is the reward. A masterpiece of mountain peaks, jewels in the Paine crown, simply breathtaking. My Argentinian son.
I just adopted a new mother.
Yeah. It was an honor and a pleasure to trek in your footsteps. Thank you for getting me to the top of this magnificent view.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Down we go, dragging ourselves back to the trailhead, then on to Puerto Natales. From Puerto Natales, we cross the Strait of Magellan on to Tierra del Fuego, heading to Ushuaia and the end of the world.
Atlantic Ocean is on the right, the Pacific Ocean is on the left. Oh, the wrong way. Oh, Atlantic, Pacific.
On the ferry, there's a wildlife safari group whose enormous lenses have captured these puma photos. We're on Tierra del Fuego, the land of fires, since Magellan saw the huge fires the native people made to keep warm. We stop for sweet treats at the Union Bakery and Argentina's version of chicken soup. Ushuaia, Fin del Mundo, the end of the world. 3,000 K to Buenos Aires, 17,000 to Alaska, and still 4,000 to the South Pole. It's situated on the Beagle Channel, where cruise ships land and expeditions go to Antarctica. Being remote with a harsh climate, there are incentives to live here. It's tax-free for businesses and individuals, higher salaries, low unemployment, since tech companies like Sony, LG, and Huawei all have factories here. They love their pinguinos here, and we love them too. The waterfront features some lovely public art. Quirky restroom sign and great empanadas. Ushuaia is famous for its king crab. Gaucho families parading on the main street Sunday mornings. Over an 11-year period, these German motorcyclists did all 17,000 K of the Pan American Highway that ends here. Of course, there's a post office at the end of the world in Tierra del Fuego National Park, a tiny shack balanced on a pier over the water, since it was prohibited for being in the park. Manned by one postmaster who will stamp your passport for $3 US. They brought 25 pairs of Canadian beavers to Tierra del Fuego to start a fur industry in 1946. With no predators, there are now over 100,000. Wreaking havoc on the island, their dams flood the land and the forest dies. The steam engine whistle blows and we're off, riding the train on 20-inch wide tracks to the end of the world. It used to be called the prison train. Hardened criminals were sent to southern Patagonia from 1896 to 1947. They were forced to do manual labor to build the town and provide firewood. We navigate along the Beagle Channel to Isla Martillo, where thousands of Magellanic penguins are waiting to greet us. They are curious, and this one comes right up and nips my leg. Magellanic penguins have a distinctive black mask and a black band around their neck. Excuse this one, he needs a bathroom break. They return to this island every year to lay their eggs in burrows that they line with grass. In preparation for migrating north, the chicks are molting. Their soft down feathers litter the ground. These are Gen 2 penguins. They are unique with their orange beak and orange feet. There's one lone king penguin on the island too. Can you imagine playing golf in wind that does this to the trees? The Ushuaia Club is the world's most southerly golf course. 9 holes, rented clubs, and we fire away. Nice horse, beautiful flowers and clubhouse, and a certificate saying we played the most southerly course in the world. Pepe, originally from Peru, but now in Patagonia, you have provided us with a positive perspective of Patagonia. Plentiful wine and beer, preeminent pathways, prime memories, pleasurable food, and along with pleasant companions, you were the perfect person to show us Patagonia.